summer night. Can you guys hear me now? There it is. There it is. You weren't being rude. You just couldn't hear me. That's okay. Well, good evening, everybody, and thank you for being here tonight. It's always inspiring to see so many neighbors, families, and community leaders come together and talk about the future of our city. And we're here today because we care deeply about our community and our park. This park belongs to all of us, and the choices we make will shape how it serves our community for years to come. The project, obviously, that we're talking about tonight is our seasonal ice rink and multi-purpose platform. Um, and I do want to go over some of the ground rules for tonight because it's been a while since we've done one of these. But we will hear from some presenters. We will hear from the mayor, the project team in charge and leading this initiative, and then other community members. And then we will go into a public comment session. We did ask everyone to please sign in ahead of time. We will just go through the list. You will be given 3 minutes to speak, and comments should not be directed to any one individual, but should speak broadly about the project. So to begin the evening, it is my honor to introduce someone who has been a strong voice in investing in our parks throughout our city. Please join me in welcoming our Mayor, Eddie Morán.
Good afternoon, good evening. Muy buenas tardes a todos. The beautiful weather, I am taking all the credit for. I made some phone calls, and as a consequence, you see the outcome. Um, Again, it's really an honor to be here and seeing, like Jack said, so many individuals, both community leaders, faith organizations, and community members. Um, I'm sure that you are here because you care about the future of our city, the future of our parks. I do too. City Park belongs to all of us. And when we invest in it, we're investing in our neighborhoods, our families, and the quality of life that makes us proud to call Reading home. I want to start by saying something important. We know this was not the first choice for everyone. We listened carefully to your feedback and your concerns, and they have guided us to this decision. We believe this plan is stronger and better for the community and for City Park. The vision is simple, but it's exciting. Seasonal ice skating rink. Right here in the heart of City Park. A place that doesn't just bring skating to the city, but brings people together. Somewhere where families can gather, kids and seniors can stay active, small businesses can benefit, and we as a community can enjoy one more reason to celebrate the winter season. Picture it with me. Affordable admission. Time to set aside for schools, youth programs, and community groups. Warm lights, music in the air, local vendors, neighbors coming together in a safe, welcoming space. Even on the coldest nights, City Park will feel alive. And this isn't starting from scratch. We've already seen how when we invest in our public spaces, people respond. They come together. They create memories. They take pride in the city. This multi-purpose space is the next step in that same spirit. Another way to make sure City Park is a place for every season. City Park is already essential and beloved by our community. By activating it during the winter, we're extending its use and giving families and businesses more reasons to enjoy the heart of Reading all year long. And once skating season is over, the space will still serve us all. We could see pop-up events, performances, vendors, and more. In fact, you know, I get the honor as mayor to be an officiant of weddings. I could see a wedding right here in the heart of downtown if given the opportunity when we do one of those pop-ups. Of course, we will do this responsibly. We are taking a blended approach with city support, business partnerships, grant opportunities, and partnership to make sure it's sustainable over the long term. And as always, safety, accessibility, and limited maintenance will be top priority. But let me be clear. This is about more than just an ice rink. It is about believing in what's possible for our public spaces. Every investment we make brings new life, new energy, and new reasons for us to come together as a community. We are committed to doing this the right way, and most importantly, to do it with you. Your voice matters, and your input will continue to shape how this project moves forward. Now, I've heard two, maybe three people that told me, an ice skating rink? Does that make sense for Spanish people? Let me be very respectful when I say, let's not be narrow-minded, right? Should we tell our kids that they shouldn't play football because 75% of NFL players are of African American background? Should I tell kids that they shouldn't play basketball because 70% of NBA players are of African American background? Should I have told my son, both my kids, when they show interest in karate, that they're not Asian? Martial arts was something that started in Asia. Should I tell some of the other kids that cricket has no place in this city? So folks, think about that. Let's be inclusive. When I tell my son, Danny, that is a huge hockey fan, he wanted to come here today with his skates because he says he doesn't get to use them often. I tell him we're not ready for that yet. Imagine how this is going to complement Christmas on the mountain. How families get to see a winterland up there and a winterland here. Imagine when it snows, how I, myself, love to come down with a sled down these hills. How is that all going to look? So let's be, again, proactive and inclusive. So with that said, I am pleased to introduce our capital projects coordinator, Adrian Havoc, who will share more about the details of the project and how it will look moving forward. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. So yes, I'm here to speak on behalf of the Capital Office team and hopefully provide some answers to your questions. The first things I'd like to say is the majority of our projects are funded by state and federal grants, and that is on top of tax money that is part of our budget. The next, most importantly, is that our funding does not take away from funding for, let's say, paving streets or blighted property abatement, but whatever. So we're a completely different side of funding. The project we're here to discuss today is an outdoor event space in which it's intended to, sorry, that's why I didn't see, to add to the amenities of the available in City Park. The 80 feet by 120 feet, and we are in this space right now, you can see the pins over there, will be in essence a concrete pad with power available. And that was one of the reasons this space was chosen, because right there you see a pole with three-phase power, 11,000 volts. and we have to be within 100 feet of that pole in order to build such a multi-purpose space as we wish to build here. Now the boring part. The ice skating rink, it will be a full turnkey package with a 7-week rental, which includes rink rental and installation, management personnel, skate rentals, ice management, including Zamboni. So we're not building the ice skating rink, we're renting it. This will be a full turnkey package that will be dismantled at the end of the season. And this pad will become a multi-purpose pad, which in the end, with all this power available, can host a variety of events. So this will not stay idle through the year. It can become anything. We have several ideas that we had, but again, the sky is the limit here. The current financial outlook remains under the original budget estimate, which was $800,000. The work completed and the remediation at 30th Spruce totaled 61,000. Additional project costs include electrical 143,000, concrete 261, rink rental $198,000. Total 664,450. So we're well under budget. The city also looks forward to a continued partnership and sponsorship of the previously piloted indoor skating events held in conjunction with Santander Arena. These events were well attended, but this will be a lot nicer because it's just outdoor, and that brings an extra element of beauty. While we have not committed to a pricing structure, we expect a session to be in the range of $10 for 90 minutes. Again, this is what we expect it to be with skates, with everything provided. And I think that's it for my speech. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Thank you, thank you. Now we'd like to hear from our council president, Donna Reed, to share a few brief comments as well.
Thank you, Jack. Good afternoon, everyone. You're sitting here in a park that was dedicated to the city back in the 1700s, and it was dedicated. You're sitting here in a park that was dedicated to the city, to the citizens of Reading, the residents of Reading, back in the 1700s by the Penns when they laid out the city. And it was devoted to us all for public use, for the public enjoyment, and for a variety of both passive and active uses. And over the years, we've seen everything, including ice skating up on the what is now the basketball court. That was the city reservoir, and iced over in the winter, and people did ice skate up there. So there's a historical content to this. But I'm just glad to see so many people here. You know, as council members, we certainly want to hear everyone's opinion. We want to be smart about how we use money and how we use our facilities. Personally, I look forward to hearing the comments, and unfortunately I do have to leave to go to another board meeting, but I will be reviewing I understand it's being recorded, so I'll be reviewing that to hear everything. And I hope while you're here you're enjoying these beautiful trees, and whatever happens, please do not cut down one tree. That's all I'll ask.
I don't think there's a tree.
Okay, but thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Council President. We'd like to now hear from our state representative, State Rep Johanny Cepeda Freites.
Good evening, everyone. How are we doing today? Good. So I want to thank the mayor and the administration for welcoming me, for inviting me here to speak and share some words. I want to thank community for coming out. I always get excited when proposals are presented, when we're talking about creating spaces and opportunities for families and young people to recreate, to create memories. So I am here to listen. Ultimately, it's the will of the people, because as elected people, that's what we're here to do, to serve and make sure that all your voices are heard and that we take into account your input before we make decisions. But one thing that I did want to share is that, you know, in my role as state representative, I'm often in spaces with young people, with our youth. And oftentimes when I'm asking them, oh, what do you like about the city of Reading? And I ask the question very excitedly because I love my city and I love my community. And what I receive is, I don't like it here. There's nothing for me to do here. I can't wait to graduate because I want to leave here, right? And so I share this with you all because we always have to be mindful of what our young people need and what they're asking us for. Could it be an ice skating rink? Maybe. I don't know. Could it be, a facility where they can learn how to create music? I don't know. But the point is that we should always be willing to listen and to understand and meet people where they're at. So I look forward to the dialogue, the conversation, and see how collectively we utilize our space wisely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Representative. Now we'd like to hear from the councilman for this district, Councilman Jamie Baez.
Thank you, and thank you, everyone. Rep couldn't have said it better. Thank you for the administration. Thank you for the elected officials that are here present today. It's very important that we continue to be engaged with our community. But thank you. The biggest thank you I want to give out is to the residents that have come out and shown up, because your voice matters. And so I want to start off by saying thanks, and I also start smiling because I want to just say that I am 100%, actually 150% in support of this project, and I'll tell you why. Because it falls in District 2, okay? I'm not going to be shy about it. I think it's an opportunity for District 2. I think it's an opportunity for our community to be able to come together and grow. And when I heard about, right, and I think it's very important that we hear our community and that we have these discussions. But when I first heard that this was a proposed site, I mean, I started calling. I was like, yes, this is great. Like, please bring this to District 2, because I'm going to advocate, yes, for the city, but for my district, because that's the district that I am representing. And so there are many reasons that have been outlined already. You know, it's not only affordable recreation, year-round gatherings. So we're not just talking about an ice skating rink. We're talking about a farmer's market. We're talking about movies. Like, this is going to be for everyone and anyone who is in the city of Reading or who is even visiting the city of Reading. And when I think about the Penn Street corridor and people traveling into the city, we want people to patronize our businesses. We want people to come visit Reading and make sure that they're also leaving some money behind so we can continue to grow as a city. And so this is another reason in which this is a perfect fit for City Park. It's going to also maintain the area as a safe space, right? When we're utilizing our parks, then that doesn't leave space for negativity to necessarily happen in those areas. And we want to make sure that these areas are staying active. It also gives us pride. It gives me pride to know that there's a thought out there that an ice skating rink wants to be placed at City Park. I love that. And so I look forward also to the dialogue, and I can't wait to hear from the residents in the city and in District 2. Thank you, everyone, again, for coming out.
Okay. Next, we're going to hear from some of our community partners, starting with Rick Perez, the CEO of Olivet's Boys and Girls Club.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Well, I was just sitting back and really enjoying the peace here of City Park. This is actually a beautiful, beautiful space. And as we all know, and while we're gathered here today, we have a beautiful city. You know, we have all, Mayor Morán, thank you to your team, City Council, everyone, our residents, who have been invested in continuing to move Reading forward. You know, we are on the Monopoly Board for a reason. And this city was quite vibrant, at one time. John F. Kennedy was right down the road, at the roundabout doing his speeches here. So how do we bring that back here? And you have made that investment, you and your team. So how do we bring people back to the city? And I think that this is a great move. And from my perspective, you know, I'm all about the kids. I know we all are, but that's my job. Yeah. And in that sense, this is just another opportunity to expose them to something different for their growth. They should be able to come to our city and be able to experience everything, you know, before they venture off and do other things when they get to college and they, you know, get other jobs. But if they can experience those things here, how many kids from Central Middle School would come and enjoy, you know, this ice hockey rink as a new experience? I can tell you now, we'll fill it with Olivet kids on a daily basis. You know, so this is just a great opportunity for us. You know, let's not start. You know, let's not shortchange our children of any experience that they can get. And I just look forward to it. I see the families. I see the igloos around. I see. I'm not a coffee person. I'm a hot chocolate person. But what better than to bring the families together? You know, to Christmas tree. I see it all. I'm done. I'm in. If there's a membership, I got one. So thank you guys very much for the idea, and I look forward to.
Okay. And finally, I'd like to introduce someone to the stage who spearheaded another project that a lot of people said wouldn't be successful, but we're excited is here to speak tonight. J.D. Turner, the Executive Director for the Reading Skate Park Association.
Go Eagles!
Go Birds. Go Birds for the guys in the back. Yeah, so my name is J.D. Turner. I don't know if I've met any of you guys, some of the people I've met in the stands here, but I basically spearheaded the project with the Reading Skate Park Association, which was to build the skate park in the south side area of town. I will say that my experiences were very negative to start out. I saw Facebook comments that were negative. I saw people coming to meetings that were negative. I got a lot of negativity for my idea coming into the city. I know that this project is kind of outside the box. I know some people are probably seeing it on social media and online and kind of having their own opinions about it. And that's what's cool, is that we're all here to talk about it. And that's what we did with the skate park. We talked to the community. We reassured that it was going to work. And once we actually built the skate park and started using it, it's one of the most used parks in the whole entire city. We have people that travel from 5 hours away to skate that skate park. I have a guy who came when I was skating it that morning that came all the way from Washington, D.C., that was just next to me at the park. That blew my mind that someone was there using a park that we built out of town, people coming in, spending revenue in the city, going to all the businesses. Like, that's what we need more of. And getting back to like what they said with the Olivets, it's all for the kids. I mean, the whole reason for doing the skate park was to give kids access to something that they didn't have to drive 2-3 hours away to go use. So I just want to thank like the administration for working with us and my idea. But I also think, just as we go forward and take public comment, just think about the kids and having access to something that they don't have to drive an hour away to go find. I mean, having access to like ice skating. And the other thing that popped in my head, and I don't know if this is something the administration or anyone talked about from the public works or the project coordination, but just doing youth hockey as well. I know we have the Santander, but being able to partner all of that into one area, and I mean teaching kids to skate and do ice hockey from the inner city is awesome. Just like when we do skate camp, we teach kids how to skate from all over. So I just want people to keep an open mind on that aspect, because like I think that's really cool, because I have a lot of friends who do indoor hockey at Skateaway, and having an outdoor rink, we don't have anything nearby except for Body Zone and Santander. So just having something that can be outside utilized by the public, I think is a good thing. So I always get back to like what we said with Olivets about the kids. It's all about the kids, and I just think having more access to things that will bring people in from outside of Reading into Reading is always going to be a benefit. And that's just my take on everything. Thank you guys for the time. Have a good night.
So I want to thank the elected officials that and the partners that came out to speak so far. I'm eager to hear from the community. But I also want to recognize another group of people that are here. Dr. Mamin was supposed to come, but unfortunately he texted me that he got caught up and couldn't make it. However, I see the backbone of the school district here, the school board president, Dr. Betts, and several of the school board members here, Patricia Wright, Shaika, Jonathan Tinoco, Dr. Paige Brookings. We also have City Councilwoman Melissa, I almost called you Vanessa, sorry. Melissa Ventura, my most sincere apologies. Um, and if any of you want to come and share a few words, elected officials from the school board, you're more than welcome. We didn't want to ignore you. Dr. Betts, I don't know if anybody wants to share anything, but if not, don't feel obligated. Just didn't want to take the opportunity away from you. Um, Okay, with that said, I'm eager to hear from everyone. I want to thank everyone, but please, before I do so, allow me to share a few words for a Spanish-speaking community. So, nuevamente, para mí es un honor, un privilegio estar aquí hoy día para presentar lo que es la posibilidad de tener nuestro parque de patinetas de hielo, un ice skating rink, en la cual va a poder crear diferentes oportunidades para no solamente nuestros niños, nuestra juventud, pero toda persona de toda edad que puedan venir y compartir en una recreación durante los tiempos de invierno, algo que no es muy común en nuestra comunidad. Vamos a imaginar lo bonito que se va a ver esto cuando venga ese tiempo, que venga la nieve y podemos estar aquí patinando, creando memoria, tomando una tacita de chocolate, poder cantar en lo que es las canciones navideñas. Tenemos arriba del bloque lo que es Christmas on the Mountain, ¿verdad? Y después de salir de ahí, venir a este espacio y continuar ese espíritu de invierno. Cuando cae nieve, aquí atrás de mí, ver los niños en las chorreritas de nieve y después terminando patinando en hielo. Eso es algo que no podemos quitarle a la oportunidad de que puedan tener la mayoría de deportes disponibles y la mayoría de cosas de hacer en el invierno, porque esto va a ser algo para todos. En adición, no solamente para el invierno, vamos a tener aquí diferentes actividades múltiple uso para este parque. Nuevamente, esto es para nuestra comunidad. Esto no es para que se vea lindo, esto es para poder traer algo que sea económico, que sea apropiado financieramente para nuestra comunidad. Se dijo en inglés que posiblemente solamente va a costar $10 por 90 minutos. $10 por 90 minutos. Eso no es imposible conseguirlo hoy en día, cualquier actividad por $10. Nuevamente, vamos a ser creativos, vamos a seguir trabajando juntos. Vamos a asegurar que le traemos todas las oportunidades que nuestra comunidad se merece. Dios me lo bendiga. All right, thank you.
All right, guys. Now it's your turn. As I turn the mic off. Okay, so like I said in the beginning, you'll have 3 minutes to speak. Please keep your comments not directed to any individual, but broadly, and no foul or aggressive language. We will ask you to leave. Same rules as a city council meeting. So our first speaker for this evening is Mr. Mike Lurch.
Hi, my name is Mike Lurch. I live up on Walnut Street, right near the top of the hill, right below 14th. A couple of thoughts that I'd like to share. One, initially the presentation of this project was skating rink. Skating rink, skating rink, skating rink. And my initial reaction was, in City Park, no. Because you're going to put this monstrosity that is only going to be used briefly throughout the year. As articles were put into the paper, slyly it was mentioned multi-purpose. So now my thinking is this ice skating monstrosity that can be used for a few other things. As I look at some of the pictures and get a clearer concept, I'm not totally against this like I was. Now I'm just on the fence. and a couple of things that put me on the fence. The money involved in creating this, the money involved in the upkeep. I look at things like the band shell that used to be used very well, used to be used often, drew lots of people. Nothing is happening. The upkeep, apparently the funding was some of the funding was lost. So now it's just let's do the minimum to maintain it, as opposed to let's really improve it and put it back to what it was. The pagoda, I look at the pagoda. Again, the same thing. It's not what it could be. So the funding going here, can't that be used there? So the money aspect is pretty big. $198,000 for the rink rental. Just a quick question: is that an annual fee, or is that so every year $198,000 to rent for 7 weeks? That puts me more on the negative side of the fence. I do like the idea of looking at these photos, the multi-use aspect of it. Okay, I'm good with that. But then I look at parking. Parking is an issue in the area. I think about facilities for people. We're going to draw crowds here, which is great. But what facilities do we offer, you know, for the parent that has to take their child to a lavatory? I know up on the top of the mountain, up on top of 14th, Hillside Pool is a great resource. And I'd really like to see that used as something that maybe some of this could have been put up in that area. I'd like to see where the research and the data is that was used to say, hey, we need a skating rink. I don't know that citywide is the greatest desire of use for a space. So again, I'm on the fence. I have some concerns. I think everyone here has concerns, but I'm not totally against it anymore. So thank you to the city for hosting this event. Thank you to the city for listening to us, and thank you for forward thinking for the city.
Thank you. Okay. Next is Mr. Cesar Lopez. Thought I saw him. Is he still here? No, he left. Okay. Mr. Carlos Torres. Nope. He also is not here. Maria Cantor, right? No. Okay. This is easy. We're going right through it. Brian Herzog, are you here?
Go, you go.
And then Brian, I'm going to ask you to stand behind the podium so all the mics can pick you up.
Okay.
And then when you see me just creeping behind you, that means your time is almost up.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Brian Herzog. Resident here for 41 years across from City Park here, and I've seen improvements, and I've seen a lot going downhill. It's a lot more trash here than has been. And it's just people don't take care. They don't use a trash can. This idea is not. I don't think this is a very good spot for this, because ice skating used to be done over on the tennis courts, and that was just flooded, and you don't have to spend all this money to put this in here. Now I realize you have a lot of ideas on different uses for it, but parking is atrocious here, and this is not the best place for it. I had thought about what the previous guy had talked about up there on 14th Street next to the Christmas on the Mountain, and that is a very good spot there, and we can create more parking up there. Over here, where the ice skating rink was, you got the whole lot over there. There is parking right there. So I just don't believe this is the best place for it. Thank you.
Next, Sharon Bordens? Oh, Borden, sorry. My reading's not that great. That's okay.
When you get older, those things happen.
So same thing. Stand
Yeah.
behind hold the mics, and when you see me lurching in the back, your time is almost up.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Sharon. I live across the street. I'm very upset about this because what's happening is people that come here don't care. We have trash everywhere. I'm talking about sitting in my living room and watching a lady take a parking space that I pay for. That side of the street is permit parking. They don't care. They park there. The lady changed her child in the back of this car, took the soiled diaper and threw it in my yard. So you know I'm angry about this because I don't want any more trash. It's horrible. I mean, I just came across the street. There's a cup and a can sitting down here that somebody already left. The street, my house has been vandalized. My vehicle has been vandalized. It's not a good idea. I'm sorry. The loud noise on a Sunday, you can't even hear your TV. It's horrendous. I know that the kids here need something, but don't put it here and take this from us. Don't take our peace of mind. Put it up there where there's plenty of parking. That's all I have to say because if I say any more, I'm gonna get angry. Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Jose Colon.
Thank you. How you all doing? Jose Colon, live across the street from here. I'm gonna echo the gentleman from well, he said how peaceful it is here, right? We can hear each other, right? Come on a Saturday night, or Saturday night, there is people, loud music, beers everywhere, trash everywhere. I'm constantly out picking up dirty diapers, beer bottles, trash, like I said, everywhere. Has that been taken into consideration? Look around. There isn't that many people here. There's no one parking space available. When that project was taken into consideration, was parking included in that? Where are we going to put all these people? Here, where we don't have any parking space for us? Where are we going to put them? Again, we can do that on 14th Street. It will be perfect there. The money you're going to spend on it, very minimal. You already have the infrastructure. Rebuild it. Okay? That's all I have to say. I personally believe that this idea here, not with me. Okay? Historic district should stay as historic as it is at the moment. That's my view on it.
Next, we have Mr. Raymond Baker.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, sir.
I want to thank the mayor, city council, and the administration for hosting this. It's good to hear from the community what they have to say about an issue or a huge change to a park like this. And I want to echo what the other members of the community have said earlier, in that I also believe this park is not a good idea for the space. As they stated, there is very little parking in this part of the city. As someone who used to live on North 8th Street, I know when you're in a part of a city like this, parking is more than at a premium. It's just going to destroy a decent amount of green space that this park has, that kids do get to enjoy, to create an ice skating rink that is going to be open for 7 weeks. And after that, we're calling it a multi-purpose lot, but it's a concrete pad. It's to create a concrete pad that for most of the year is going to be empty. I hope it could be used for other things, but I would note a food truck idea. That's what we have Penn Street for. We have huge blocks on Penn Street we could be using that for. To host movie nights. We have a band shell that someone just mentioned is underutilized. Why aren't we hosting movie nights there? I would add, it's going to cost, I believe it was stated, over $600,000, if I'm correct. And I know it was said that that money, it's not related to other money, but you only get so much grant money. It's not like if we don't use it for an ice skating rink, that money was going to go to Allentown to make an ice skating rink. I would say that we should be spending that kind of money to improve the parks we already have. Our parks need improvement. It's not like our parks are perfect right now. And I would say last but not least, these ideas already exist in that we already have the body zone. and the Santander, if they were packed to the gills, I think I would sound like a fool up here right now. This isn't an idea that the community is demanding. And the reason we're standing here is because at 3rd and Spruce, they were so uproarious about this idea, it got moved to City Park. This isn't a good idea for our city as a whole, I don't believe. And I would ask you to just cut your losses on this one. Use that money to improve our parks, build more trees on our streets, and make our city better that way. And listen to the community in that matter. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have Mr. John Turner. Okay. Now we have Miss Robin Constanbader Jacobson.
Thank you. It's great to see people out here. You know, I may be one of the oldest people here in the park that's lived in Reading as long as they have. And I haven't said it for a long time, but some of you know I'm the 10th generation of my family that has lived in Reading. I don't know that this is the best and the greatest idea, but I look at things, what's in it for the kids. That's why I was devoted to the school district that I graduated from. I had one child and I tried to get it right, so I'm going to be a little passionate and personal about it. I really was a poor kid growing up in Reading. We didn't have any money. I was a single mother for 12 years, my mother was. And I took the outlook in raising my child that I wanted to expose her to as many opportunities that were out there and around her so that she could make choices, so that she could see what she liked and was interested in. I look at this and I look at other places. We've mentioned Allentown. You look at Philadelphia. Yeah, we're not as big as them. But I've looked over the years and I've seen all the things that have come and gone through the city of Reading. And we can't, I tell people all the time, we can't look back and bring it back, but what can we do to move forward? Look, the mayor of Reading, who I've served on the school board with in the past, knows that I can rip this city up with my mouth in 3 minutes, standing here with negativity and things that aren't going right. But what are we going to do to make it better? What are we going to do to offer the kids so they're not sitting in front of a TV and gaming till 1 o'clock in the morning, and when they become adults and they can't get up for work in the morning because they have an addiction? So these are things that I hope people will think about. I can say that I know this neighborhood. Some of you are from this neighborhood. I grew up in the 500 block of North 14th Street after living on North 10th Street. So I get the city, I get the negativity, I get money, that we don't have a lot. But what can we do to start things and make them better so we can continue to improve what we do have? Can we get corporate sponsorships for the kids to skate? You know, we talk about the kids, it's dirty, the parking. Don't take it out on the kids if it's their parents. So, thank you for listening. I'm still in a position of learning about it, studying it, looking at the numbers, and listening to what everybody has to say, because I think everybody's opinion is very worthwhile and everybody's perception is 100%. So we're going to see what happens next, right?
Thank you. Next, we have Miss Judy Sierra. Sierra, sorry. Thank you.
Okay, a lot of people already said some of the things I was going to say regarding parking. The thing about parking, though, that has not been mentioned, this is a wintertime thing, we got to shovel those spots. So those spots are not our spots, but they can be utilized for whoever. Well, that doesn't work when you come home and everybody's in the park and they just took all of your spots. There's nowhere to park. Most of the people living in this area, I'm going to speak for the neighborhood because I am the neighborhood. I have lived here for over 25 years. So I have seen things come and go. I have, worked hard to get that playground the way it is. I worked very hard with McMahon to get that done. And I absolutely enjoy seeing all of these families out here enjoying themselves, using the play equipment, using all of these things. However, these trees, green space, these trees that are here, these are over maybe 150 years old, and they're in the spot of where a concrete base is going to be. That's unacceptable, because all of these families, when they're out here, I don't know whether you all come out here, but all of these families, when they come out here, they come and sit up here in the shade. This was a very, very hot summer. It's not getting cooler, guys. It's getting warmer. The fact that we may not have winters where we can even have ice anymore is in our future. So the indoor ice is already there. It's there at the Santander. It's there at Body Zone. We do not have parking here. We cherish our green space. Cherish it. Because most of these people that live here, I have a backyard. I have a huge tree in my yard, and I love it. But most of these people don't have a yard. This is their yard. This is where they come to have a picnic with their families. So you're taking that away from them, and a big concrete slab here, let's just face it, we've got graffiti here. All you gotta do is walk up over to the courts. That will be all graffiti. And I want to have our kids have things to do. I want our kids to feel like Reading is a place that they can stay. My own son just got married and lives in Minnesota. So there was nothing keeping him here. And that's unfortunate. It breaks my heart. However, the thing is there is a place for this, and it's a place that needs help. And it's downtown on Penn Street. These things are just temporary, like you had mentioned, and it can be erected anywhere. My son went to Monmouth University. It was put there by the shore just for that season. So that can be put where you guys just tore down a building, right next to Alvernia. And wouldn't it be great if we actually had people showing up to Penn Street where people would want to open up a store there, there's coffee shops down there, there's other, businesses. There are no businesses around here, none. So you are helping no one's business to thrive except maybe the people that rent skates, all right? So I would love to see this. I really would love to see it. It's in the wrong spot though. This is our city park. We treasure this park. It needs to be downtown Penn Street, and we have the Fire and Ice Festival. This would be perfect. Why not make it where people would go downtown and somebody wants to open up restaurants where there's loads of parking garages as well. We got to have it thought out here. It's a great idea, but it needs to be thought out as to where to put it. And as a business person, I say put it where it's going to help business people.
Thank you. Next, we have Ms. Tanya Nelson. So 3 minutes, and when you see me behind you, time's out.
I got you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Tanya Nelson. I live directly across the street from here. So many people have spoken about what are the possibilities here. Every place but here. Since that pad has been put here, you're talking about garbage. I come out of my house and there's people sitting on my steps. The parking, I've been here for like 12 years. I bought the house because there's a park across the street, and there's no other houses so that I can actually park. I owned a house on 12th Street where it was horrible to try to park there. But aside from that, it's because it was well kept. It was clean. It was quiet. It's no longer like that. My bedroom is in the front of the block. Midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, you hear the squeaky swings. I don't blame the kids. The kids have to have some place to play. but the parents are not regulating any of this. And then you have grown-ups out there too. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock playing music. Now, if there wasn't other options, I could add it. But like they say, over here, why put it here? The parking is horrendous, and the garbage. It just doesn't make any kind of sense. It just doesn't make any sense. I think you take into consideration children, which we should, but let's take into consideration the taxpayers in this area. That's it.
Okay. Next we have Mr. Ramon. I'm sorry, I can't read your last name. Okay. Next we have Mr. Thomas Shager.
All right, yeah. I'm kind of, you know, if there's kids coming down here sledding, this is where they're going to stop. So that's the end of that. And I agree. We need stuff downtown where there's actual parking, garages already established. Wouldn't it be great to come into the city and see this from the Penn Street Bridge? Not having to drive through all this up here, and then you're going to park wherever, and it's a steep hill. It doesn't add up, you know, and there used to be ice skating over there. That worked out great. Very little turnout from what I remember, but wouldn't it be great to see this as you're coming into Reading with all these lights right from Penn Street Bridge? I have it down near Rack, have it on Penn Street, but you can't have it here. You can't be chopping down trees and stuff like that. It's just, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make any business sense. Downtown Reading needs money in there. They need to open up Penn Street parking. We need to get rid of those hideous bus stops with a touch-tone payphone on. This city's like 50 years behind other cities. When you go up to Bethlehem and Allentown and Harrisburg and see what they're doing, we should have waterfront dining. Imagine from Rack on over. Parking space, movie, and waterfront dining like Harrisburg. People love that. And little pad down there, there's already enough that can be built with that already. And that would be a draw. You'd have the parking nice and flat as well. And some new restaurants maybe going on. And I don't know. I think from a business point of view, it would make sense there, and I want the park to stay green. There's not too many green places left, and yeah, use some of this money. If you go up right now, I'll be done in a second. If you go up right now, for example, next to Hillside, that's all busted up. The pool's busted up, but that is chained off. These kids can't even play basketball up there. If you go up there, there's no hoops, and it's chained off. You know, so you could spread it out a little bit. There's basketball here, basketball up there, and Eggleman's Park, the water's drained out of that. That looks hideous. There's a big pile of dirt there. Who knows what that's for, but now it has weeds on it. Really, really hideous park. It used to be beautiful growing up. And yeah, take some of this money and revitalize what we have already. Alvernia, same thing. That used to have paddle boats and stuff like that, and now it's just sort of a glorified swamp, is what it is, with trees and who knows. But yeah, we need to have some water back in the parks, Bernhardt's or whatever. I don't know. I know that's not in the city, but yeah, there's no parking up here, man. I can tell you that. So. Yeah, bring it back downtown. Let's see some waterfront dining and some waterfront activities. We already have the movie theater. We already have the Miller Center there. So anything downtown, and like she said, you already tore down 2 buildings. That's next to Alvernia. So that's and there's parking maybe a block or so away. So that would be the location for it, downtown. Businesses are hurting down there. you can go through Saturday and it's a ghost town. It's full of trash, and if you take a trip to Bethlehem quick and see what they're doing, really thinking outside the box. And like I said, it would be nice to see this coming into the city. Like, hey, what are they doing there? Wow, that looks cool. Let's go down and check it out. So that's about the end of my rant.
Sorry, now I'm over.
You're okay. You're okay. And then finally, our last speaker for the night is Mr. Francis Morrison. Close us out. Oh, okay.
I don't like clicks, and I ain't clickbait. Thank you. How you doing? Good. Good. Good evening. Good evening. I see somebody did some organizing, and we call that back in the day community action. And I hear the people speaking. I hear a lot of issues. A lot of the issues and complaints have to do with ordinances. Ordinances need to be obeyed and enforced. As to whether or not they build an ice skating rink here or elsewhere, my concern would be whether or not it is going to be managed by a private not-for-profit organization that exists outside the city and will put a fence up around the skating rink, and you cannot enter it until they let you in. There's a hockey rink down at 3rd and Spruce that has a chain link fence, and from my understanding, the young lady told me that it was sold to a not-for-profit organization that exists in Wyomissing. That was a tennis court. Traditionally, Spanish-speaking people may not play tennis on a regular basis, but they do play tennis. I was wondering, what about ice skating and the culture? Then I thought about the Jamaican bobsled team. Ironic. The mayor, he laid out an argument that made me think about the NBA and that the Reading School District and Reading High has 3 state championship teams. Traditionally, you have African Americans playing basketball, but those teams had Latinos for the most part. So the acculturation, the combination of two cultures, I can see it happening. And I can see young people, Spanish-speaking people, learning to ice skate. The question is, do we enforce ordinances the way they're supposed to be enforced so that we have happy residents? Can we reach an agreement that, yes, ice skating rink in the city of Reading is a viable proposition? The question is where? I don't know. It's beyond my scope. But my interest is whether or not whoever manages it, will they have the city residents in their heart when they do the management part? That said, I'm going to give it back to Joe, right? Jack, my son.
Yeah, I think I skipped 1 or 2 people. So if you guys come on up. Yeah.
You could come back.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Hello, I'm Roxanne Curran, and I'm in this district, living here for 30 plus years. I would say it's time to definitely go back to the drawing board. This is not the place for this skating rink. As practically everyone has said, there are numerous places that are already in existence where this could easily be put. I'm not saying we shouldn't have one, but it should be elsewhere. This is a green space. This is a peaceful place. I know or pretty sure that there's going to be trees cut down. I don't want to see trees cut down. I walk in this park every day, and I go up Hill Road, and I walk around here. I love the peace of this, and I know the people that live all around here have moved here because this is a peaceful place. I'm also concerned about the rental the cost of this rental. And I wonder where all this money came from. There are so many things in this city that need to be fixed that are not fixed. As the gentleman before me said, ordinances are not enforced. It took me 5 or 6 hours the other night from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning to just get somebody to come to my neighborhood to stop the crazy parties. You know, and the filth and the deterioration around here is awful. The fact that we lost a couple buildings downtown that were historic and beautiful is a disgrace. And the area should be used for something good. If you go up here, you can either go to the police academy that they're going to tear down, and you could put a skating rink there, or you could go over to the tennis courts and do something there. But do not destroy this park. Do not destroy the peace and the intention of this park. Thank you.
And now, finally, I don't think I skipped anybody else. Thank you.
Thanks. Sorry, I'm supposed to be at a work event at 6, so I had signed up earlier to not be trying to double book myself. My name is Sarah. I also live really close to the park. And sorry, frustrated about starting late and missing the other thing, but it felt important to to come show up in my neighborhood. And I've lived here for 6 years, and overall it's been really awesome to see so much more happening in the park. And I love being by the park because I can go on these daily walks. I work mostly remotely, so I'm on the computer a lot, and it's like just so great to be able to be with the trees, but also with all of the kids and families, and see a place in the city where lots of people of many different ages and backgrounds are. And I value those noises and that commotion just as much as the trees on a daily basis. And I've noticed on the other side, there's not that many parking issues, not that much trash. I know that when there are events, I see Public Works out here Monday morning at 7 a.m. on it, cleaning it up, and the trash goes away pretty quick when there's big events like that. And that's kind of also on the other side where there's less happening than what we were talking about here. But I also notice on a pretty daily basis that the main parking lot is not full. There's plenty of space there. I know that there's a lot over here that could be utilized. So I know that sometimes, okay, sorry. I see sometimes there are parking issues, but most of the time I don't mind parking in that lot and then walking the extra 5 minutes to my house. Obviously not everyone can do that, but it does sometimes just seem like part of living here. And so I support the ice rink being in the park. I'm really open to it because I really think that doing something for kids and giving things for people to do and to come here, those parts sound like something that the park does need. Though personally, from my walks here and being in the neighborhood, I really think that this is also the wrong spot. I see on a daily basis that the other side of the park is really underused. Like, people are walking on the paths, and sitting under the cherry trees. But outside of that, people really aren't hanging out in the grass very often. Maybe occasionally on that corner. But what I do notice, most days, especially in the summer, is that this spot here is where people are actually sitting. Lots of families, moms with their strollers, because of the shade and because of the proximity. And so I think I've worked with Parks and Rec across the county for 7 years and done some public works projects where I know the planning that goes into it. And sorry, this is so scattered because I'm rushing to get to my work event, but I know that the money that goes into this is just not the numbers seem so big as a layperson, but having worked on the budgets for public works projects and for parks, I know it just actually does cost that much, and we just have to do it, and we need to for the sake of our city and of giving kids things to do. So I am not against spending the money, but I think I feel against doing something in a place that already has a lot of use, and taking away that current use, which is sitting here in the shade, and taking that away and I think it would be much better to put it somewhere where there isn't actually something happening and add that investment, which I also think is like there. I would love to see more happen on the other side of the park, as I've said. And the last thing is, with these trees, like not just people sitting under the shade, but like I hear you guys on the infrastructure like component of the power being here, but I know that like infrastructure like that is something that money can buy, and maybe we don't have money, but it is like technically possible, whereas oak trees of this age and of this health are just not something money could ever buy, even if we had it. And there's like I've worked with forestry and with conservation for years, and it's my background in training, and these trees are really valuable and really amazing specimen trees, and home to wildlife as well. Like I've like something that has been a connecting point in the park for me with people is the fireflies and the bats, and that happen in the evening. And cutting down the trees, taking away the shade, it just seems like not worth the trade-off. And I think that was probably everything. Sorry, I forgot to time myself. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's it.
All right.
I gotta run.
Okay. Well, thank you
Bye.
so much. And now finally, I do want to introduce our finance director, Jamar Kelly, who oversees our capital improvement program, to go over just some clarifying comments to some of the things you guys heard here tonight.
Thank you, Jack. So we're not trying to refute point by point or anything like that. We do appreciate all the feedback, but there were a few consistent misunderstandings that we want to clarify. So as it relates to bathrooms, when we do any organized city events, we do have a contract for porta potty bathrooms. They're brought in for the band shells, as all of our parks that program in the summer. That would be factored in for this as well. It should also be noted that the bathrooms in the comfort station here in City Park are fully operational and would be able to be used for this event. The band shells are currently under renovation. The roofing is completed, that was recently replaced. The electrical work is currently pending completion, and we're consulting hard on the paint choice for the band shells. So the band shells will be renovated and brought up to current use this year. Hillside Splash Park, we have a notice of award from the federal government for that park. That is going to be a $4 million rebuild of Hillside Splash Park. Hillside Park, it will be a splash park with adult cabanas. We're looking to have another family-oriented and activated space. It won't be like some of our other splash parks where we tend to have kids sent to the park. This is going to be a destination. Come with your kids to the park, and adult-focused cabanas, grill stations, that sort of thing. That park and project is in final design and will begin construction in 2026. The basketball courts here in City Park were considered in our research over the last year plus. We consulted with RAWA about the reservoir under the basketball courts. Due to that reservoir still being in place, that is not a viable option. We could not put the ice on top of the basketball courts. And lastly, on Eggleman's Dam, that dam is being removed. We're awaiting a permit from DEP. That's been a scheduled capital project for a number of years now, as has ice skating been in the capital budget for the last 2 years. Lastly, on trees, very important. The Public Works Department planted 150 trees in 2024. We also were awarded a DCNR grant to plant more trees, and that grant award came in 2025. So Tree City USA is still very much alive and well here in Reading, and we are still planting new trees, and that is and remains a concern of the mayor. We are not trying to remove canopy cover. If anything, we're working to increase canopy cover. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, guys. Well, that concludes our presentation. I want to thank everybody on behalf of the mayor, the entire administration. Thank you for coming and sharing your thoughts, your opinions. It means a lot to us. We can't do what we do if you guys, the community, do not engage. So thank you, and have a great night, everybody.